In late 2020, the global chip shortage made headlines around the world.
Next tonight to the major chip shortage.
A worldwide shortage of microchips.
It's the microchip shortage that's having the biggest impact.
The shortage made clear that the United States' global share in the production of semiconductors has significantly declined. In response, there's been a surge in interest among policymakers to strengthen production of the most advanced chips.
The United States has to lead the world in producing these advanced chips.
The most advanced semiconductors.
Advanced
microelectronics.
The most advanced chips.
But the surge in interest risks overlooking another major vulnerability: our supply of less advanced legacy chips. During the height of the pandemic, the global chip shortage was often blamed on disruptions in supply and chip production. However, a more significant factor was the dramatic increase in demand for chips as people around the world moved their lives online. Demand for consumer electronics skyrocketed, outpacing supply despite chip fabrication facilities operating at nearly 90% capacity throughout the pandemic. Shortages in legacy chips were the most severe. While a broad category, legacy or mainstream chips include semiconductors with simpler functions and larger components compared to cutting-edge chips that operate at the smallest nodes. Despite the name, these chips are not stale tech. These devices power our cars, home appliances, medical devices, and military systems. In just one car, there are around 1,700 semiconductors on average, but each can contain upwards of 3,000 chips. Automotive semiconductors, most of them legacy, power even the car's most basic functions, from its ignition to its windshield wipers. Inadequate supply in just one of these chips can keep a car from going to market. This is exactly what happened in North America, where chip shortages forced car makers to cut 4.3 million vehicles out of production between early 2021 and mid-2022. Even in the latest smartphones, legacy chip shortages held up production. Minor components for the Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max suddenly became unavailable, forcing Apple to slash production forecast by up to 10 million units in 2021.
Beyond these short-term demand surges, long-term trends are concerning as well.
The US chip industry is losing the capability to produce some types of legacy devices altogether. Older semiconductor factories, or fabs, are closing down and not being replaced, at least not in the United States. Equally troubling, the manufacturing equipment needed to produce higher-node chips is no longer readily available, and firms are hesitant to make new investments in facilities and equipments making old chips which have slimmer profit margins. Despite their importance, only about 1/6 of all semiconductor investment is directed toward legacy chip manufacturing. As a result, the United States relies heavily on Taiwan, South Korea, and China to meet its growing legacy chip demand.
Chinese leaders may see controlling this essential market, that is, in the mainstream chips, as a strategic objective. This would present a significant national security risk to the United States.
The Chinese government is reportedly planning an $143 billion chip subsidy package, much of which would be focused on legacy chips. Meanwhile, the Chips and Science Act of 2022 appropriates $52 billion to boost U.S. semiconductor research and manufacturing. However, only $2 billion of that is dedicated explicitly towards subsidizing legacy chip production. Whether that sum is sufficient to meet U.S. economic and national security needs and counter Chinese influence over the industry remains to be seen. Lawmakers must understand the critical importance of legacy chips, and the U.S. must coordinate with its allies to strengthen supply chains and provide sustained support for incentivizing legacy chip production.
While efforts to boost advanced chip manufacturing is an important step, these less advanced devices cannot be overlooked. Doing so would fail to secure a key ingredient in the U.S. manufacturing economy. Even more concerning, it would jeopardize our national security because many of our weapon systems depend directly on this category of chip making.